Let's talk a little bit about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I don't think anybody saw this coming, and it almost feels a little bit like a Garth Brooks song because once upon a time, people had really high hopes for CM Punk and the dream matches he could have at WrestleMania. And it came down to him and Cody at the Royal Rumble, and Cody was victorious. But because Punk wound up injured, well, he didn't wind up wrestling Seth at WrestleMania, and he didn't wind up losing to this guy or that guy. We got heavy, heavy, heavy on promos and story. And now we've had several months to build the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. It does feel logical that they're going to do this at SummerSlam. It's probably the hottest feud in wrestling, and one of the guys wasn't even cleared to wrestle. You think story matters? How pumped are you for Punk and McIntyre seemingly at SummerSlam?
Not yet. Not gonna lie. I know everybody that listens to my show thinks all I do is put over WWE and bury AEW. Neither is true, but in this case, and I want to be excited. First of all, massive Drew fan. I mean, as a person, his story. It's not like we're good friends or anything, but I love the fact that he tried and he didn't make it, and he left, and now he's back. That to me, that's like the best story in wrestling for me. But as much as I want to like it for Drew and for Punk, because I'd like to see Punk redeem himself completely. I mean, I think he has in terms of people's perception of him, even the anti-punkers, of which I was one, admittedly. He brought it upon himself. But I want to see him succeed in WWE. And I think if there's any opportunity for Punk to really control the latter part of his career and end up with a positive legacy and a shit ton of money, that this will work out for him. And that's what I want to see. But I'm not there yet. And maybe it's because, look, there's an injury. The reason we're heavy and we're on story and promos is because we can't do anything else right now, or haven't been able to do anything else. So it's not like a creative choice. It's a creative necessity. But maybe they've overdone it. Maybe they've dragged that story out and didn't manage it because of the injury. They were not able to manage the pace of that story. And that's kind of what I'm trying to say when I point out the elements of each one act and when that element needs to happen. Because a lot of these elements need to happen generally in order or proximity, because you're managing emotion. And I think perhaps because of the injury, they've had to extend the dialogue versus the in-ring narrative, in-ring meaning action, that they've kind of lost me. Or maybe it's just me. And I haven't heard anything yet that makes me go, oh, now I really want to see this. Well, we got a lot of time. Got a lot of time. I just hope Punk stays healthy. That's, it's not getting any younger. You don't heal. Your body just doesn't metabolize nutrients the same way when you're in your 40s as it did when you were in your 20s. And it takes longer to heal. It's just a fact of life. And there's things you could do to speed that up, obviously. But still, once you get to your early 40s, mid 40s, it starts getting a lot tougher than people realize. And I'm sure he's got the best of the best in terms of rehab facilities and nutritionists and doctors and everybody else. And he's probably already got a lot of that background himself. But we'll see. I hope he stays healthy. That's all.
Roll Tide on that. I think we're all hoping for him to be healthy. And we're also hoping that we get the return of Roman Reigns. The story that we saw a few weeks ago with Paul Heyman not pledging his allegiance to Solo and getting powerbombed through the table has a lot of people sort of looking at SummerSlam wondering, will this be a suitable spot for Roman Reigns to return? We haven't seen him since WrestleMania. It seems like it's heavy on bloodline story right now in WWE. And it does feel like we could be positioning ourselves for maybe a civil war with the bloodline. Do you think Roman Reigns comes back at SummerSlam?
I hope not. It's too soon. There's been so much going on in WWE. First of all, just step back, if you're a wrestling fan that watches every Monday Night Raw and every SmackDown and every Dynamite and every Rampage and every Collision and whatever else is floating around out there in the universe, TNA, which I keep hearing is getting better and better every week. If you just step back and look at wrestling and what we've seen on TV like a chessboard and how the major pieces have been moving around. Okay, Roman's gone, but there's been so many moves on the chessboard since that time that it's hard to even recognize that, oh yeah, he's been gone. There's so much going on. Nobody's missing him. There's no, just deep down in your instincts, your subconscious, God, I'd really like to see Roman show up. God, I wonder if Roman's going to surprise us tonight. They're not there yet. They haven't. Absence makes the heart grow fonder only works if the absence is substantive enough to create the desire amongst the audience to see the star. Otherwise, they're just on a coffee break emotionally. So I hope not, because I think that would be rushing it, in my opinion. But I don't know their business. I'm not looking at their numbers. I'm not analyzing anything. I'm just going by gut feel and a little bit of experience.
SaveWithConrad.com.
I'm Nick Castillo from Waterville, Ohio. I've listened to several of his podcasts for a few years and have always heard the ads for Save with Conrad. And my wife and I were looking to refinance, and we had looked into a couple different options. And then I had remembered one of the ads and contacted you guys, and here we are. We had some debt that we accumulated, and we wanted to pay it down, get everything in under a much better, more manageable APR. So smooth. Never had anything finance go that easy. We got a chance to work with Francis and Larry. They made everything comfortable. They were very personable. They were on top of everything. They made sure we were on top of everything. They were with us every step of the way, kind of guiding us. So like I said, I've never had an experience that went that smooth. Right off the bat, we saved at least $250 a month. Within a couple of months, we'll probably be at the $400 to $500 mark a month. I'm Nick Castillo from Waterville, Ohio, and I've saved over $400 a month with SaveWithConrad.com.
NMLS number 32416, equal housing lender, SaveWithConrad.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what AdFreeShows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that AdFreeShows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. AdFreeShows.com.